Alabama with a 4-star safety that's saying, hey, I'm down to 3 teams. Alabama is one of those. We're going to talk about Jalen Milroe preparing for next season like he's going into the NFL draft. This guy has been relentless, and I like his work ethic as he gets ready to be Alabama's quarterback for the upcoming season. And how about Crimson Tide basketball, the number 2 recruiting class in hoops? They might be the number 1 team. We're going to talk about that and more. So make sure that you watch the show right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell. That's a way of saying Roll Tide. We're just here to have you guys come and hang out with us, have a good time, not worry about all the other things going on in the world, except just Alabama athletics. Mostly football, but some basketball now. We might even talk a little softball right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. All right, let's get this party started. Here's your invitation. There he is, big sexy Elmo with a big smile on his face. That's Brett Elmore from WJLX at Brett Elmore Show. I'm at Broadcaster Mick. Happy Saturday to everyone as we talk a little bit of Alabama athletics. What you got there, Brett?
Had to get my trusty marker.
Okay, well, get your trusty marker and let's talk about 4-star safety that is down to Alabama, LSU, Stanford, and Tennessee. So it's down to 4. Bama's part of the mix.
CJ Jimcoily, 6'3", 205, a safety out of Lipscomb Academy up in Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. And yeah, he's some services have him a 3-star, some have him as a 4. But pretty good player. His junior season, he played primarily at corner, but he also got plenty of reps as a safety. Finished the season with 51 tackles, 3.5 tackles for a loss and an interception. He's got offers from Cal. He's got offers from Tulane and Penn State. I mean, everybody. I mean, it's just all over the map. But he's narrowed everything down to 4 teams, and Bama's one of them. And looks like he's leaning toward the SEC flavor, as you have LSU in there and Tennessee, and then that wild card in Stanford, which leads me to believe he must be a pretty smart kid.
Yeah, he's not going there. He's going to stay in the South. He's going to go to Alabama, and he'll be a great, safety. I mean, we've already netted some some great guys to help out in that secondary.
He's not going there. He's going to be at Alabama, and it's all going to work out for the best. I don't know. But between those 4 schools, yeah, I would go to Alabama too.
Yeah, look, I like LSU and Tennessee both. It'd be fun. Stanford's, not the place I'd go, but we'll see. Alabama's been on a heater. It's always great to see the Crimson Tide come in the Final 4 and the Final 2, nail down some of these guys, and we'll see what happens here. But the secondary is getting rebuilt right now, and it's getting rebuilt with some guys in the transfer portal, but a lot of guys in high school recruiting. And this is another example where Alabama's going out there and digging hard to try to add another elite talent for that secondary.
Yeah, and you're right. They are rebuilding and doing quite well at it too.
You look at On 3, they have Alabama listed as a slight favorite over LSU, Stanford, and Tennessee. So it's like on their site, it's like 18.1, 15.8, 13.5, 8.5. Like, okay. But, Rivals has him as a 4-star. The other 3 have him as a 3-star. Love that. Nashville, Tennessee's awesome. Great place. And Alabama's done very well there. Throw Oklahoma in the mix. we'll see what happens. But, always interesting as we kind of get down. And then the visits, that's another thing. What do you experience when you come to Tuscaloosa? This coaching staff has done a great job of connecting with the guys. So that's kind of the next thing here, like get them on campus, see what happens there, build on that. How about this? Milroe heading from the Carson Palmer camp to the Peyton Manning camp, or the Manning Passing Academy, Thibodaux, Louisiana, at Nicholls State. Like, I love the fact that this guy is working relentlessly to get better at, Jake Coker and I talked about it on the Elephant in the Room podcast, just trying to get a little bit better at the mid-range passes, at the footwork that goes into being a quarterback. He can run, he's a winner, but he's working on trying to improve his craft, and I got to give the guy a ton of credit for that.
You can't doubt his work ethic. I mean, you can't doubt that at all. And yeah, going from the camp there with Carson Palmer, and don't forget Eli Manning in this. Now it's a Peyton and Eli Manning,
right?
The Manning.
Do you like their show? Do you like them on the Manning cast?
I do. I
do too. I do too.
But the Manning Passing Academy is a big deal, and going out there and hanging out with those guys, getting a little more work in. That's obviously how he's spending his summer, man. He's grinding, and I still I'll stick to my guns and what I said yesterday. I think this guy has a chip on his shoulder. I think he wants to come out and he wants to leave his mark. I think he feels like this team can win it all. I think he's bought into what Coach DeBoer is bringing to the table, and I think that that's why he's putting in this extra work, man. He's like I say, you cannot doubt this guy's work ethic.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I love that about him. I know there's some mix. Basically, there's some mixed feelings about him from some people, but look, he's the best option you have to win a national championship. He won an SEC title last year. The guy, when he was injured, he played well, and it was just like really a guy that grew every single start. And I mean, I know he didn't play his best game against Michigan, but the offensive line could have done a better job. We could have ran the ball a little bit better. Yeah. We still lost in overtime. So
that's right.
I'm not ready to throw the guy under the bus at all.
No. But and I also want to say too that I've seen some photos of Ty Simpson putting in the work too. I mean, he's working to get better. That's what these guys are doing in the summer, man. These guys are grinding because I think not only Milroe, but I think as a team, they've really bought into DeBoer and his staff, and obviously I miss Nick Saban. I mean, I just the greatest time of my life, and I knew that it was going to end one day, and it's over with.
Right.
But I also really like this energy and this youth feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I'm with you.
I love the energy, and I think it's pumped some life into this team. But like I said, this guy has not coached a down of football yet at Alabama, but he will in 98 days, 97 days, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I can't wait to see it. All right, Nick Saban's gone, but Nate Oats is still there, and Alabama welcomes the number 2 national recruiting class. So we lost a lot of players who went in to cash in and try to get as much money as they can after going to the Final Four. And then Alabama goes out and they just bring in the number 2 recruiting class, and it really shows you the power that Nate Oats has.
Yeah, awesome job. Aiden Holloway, Houston Mallett, Clifford Omari, LeBaron Fion, and Chris Youngblood.
Fion from Mobile, by the way, little South Alabama action.
They've signed, sealed, and delivered, and these 5 transfers join signing class that includes some 5-stars in there. Darian Reed and Aiden Sherrill, as well as Nas Cunningham. He's a 4-star. But as far as the rankings go, number 2 overall signing class according to 24/7 Sports. And Coach is just thrilled to death about this, and as fans we are too. But that kind of leads us, Mick, to we know that Coach Oats has done a great job, but let's take a look at the rankings as a whole. We finish up second, only behind Duke, one of the blue bloods, and man, when you finish ahead of just all these other programs, just everybody else, and right behind Duke at number 2. That's strong, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, it really goes to show you, like, kind of what Nate Oats has been able to do. This is a position that Alabama has never been when it comes to basketball, and you throw that up there and you look at some of the elite players that are coming, and I got to give the guy credit. I mean, like, this is really an accomplishment to see Alabama being able to go out there and bring blue chip talent in.
Never before have I sat here on May 25th and said, let's talk some hoops. It's a great feeling. But as far as the rankings are concerned, who else is in there? Auburn. Where did Auburn come in? 28th in the nation. Where did Kentucky come in? 39th in the nation. But, you look at the top 10, North Carolina's at 10th, but there are 2 programs other than Alabama in the top 10 in the recruiting wars. And would you like to guess who those 2 teams are?
Who?
Arkansas is at 6th, Coach Cal. But at 5th is Missouri.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Ready to spend some cash.
Yeah, they have upped the game, my friend. They have upped the game.
They should. So Bama adds Kent State to the non-conference schedule. This has to be just about wrapping up the schedule for next year.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's wrapping up, and that non-conference schedule's looking good, Mick. When you got Creighton on there, you have Purdue, you have Illinois, you have McNeese, you got those games out in Las Vegas with that NIL classic or tournament or whatever you want to call it. And then still that ACC, SEC thing they do every year. We don't know who we're going to play yet, but Rocco Miller reporting that they'll be hosting Kent State on December the 22nd. That's, of course, Coach Saban's alma mater. And so that should wrap up the non-conference schedule.
All right, Brett. Well, it's time for the show to now shift gears. I want to remind everyone that we talk football every day, brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Choctaw, Mississippi. Play the Augusta that you can play. That is Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's fantastic right there on their campus. You got the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sportsbook, which is basically Vegas-style sportsbook, legal to bet right there in Mississippi. They're celebrating 30 years at the Golden Moon and Silver Star casinos at Pearl River Resort. They've got some great bands coming. You're talking about Boys to Men, which Brett and I will be there for that one. You got Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson. Yeah, we'll be there for that one too. They also have Rodney Carrington coming, Brian McKnight. So some really fantastic acts. And we want you guys to swing over there. Table games and slots. You got it all, man. TVs, the spa, the water park, all that stuff. So make sure that you take advantage of that. It's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, but really anywhere in Alabama, it's not a far drive. And, it's like Vegas, but it's in your own backyard. All right, Brett, with all of that said, with everything that we just talked about, it's time for you to take over now and tell us about what's going on today.
Oh, is it that time again?
Yeah, look, there you are. Did you see that? Right. The Brett Elmore Show on WJLX. Hey, somebody said you two need to talk. Laurel and Hardy. They call us Laurel and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy, you guys need to stick to sports.
That's offensive, if you ask me. To compare you to Hardy is just absolutely unacceptable. But
I thought the same thing.
And good morning to everyone except for you Grinch. No. Hey, if you don't like the humor or lack thereof, you could stop watching right now. Just tune in for the sports part, then we'll do this. But no, I hope people enjoy this. Mike Myers, funny guy, 61 today.
Yeah, SNL, like back when SNL was really funny, like before they, kind of got so off the rails. And I don't know. I like some of the guys on SNL now. I mean, the guy from that was on Nickelodeon, I love that guy. But and there's a couple guys on there, but it's not like it used to be when Mike Myers was on there, and you would go through, and it was like I me, I love Phil Hartman. Like I just love him. I love Chris Farley. I love Adam Sandler. So I mean, I could go through and just talk about that year, those years of SNL, and he's part of that. So, really funny guy. Mike Myers, not the killer, but the comedian.
Yeah. I had a teacher named Michael Myers. He was a history teacher. Did you like him in Wayne's World?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
Let's see. What else do we have going on today as far as celebrity birthdays are concerned? Molly Sims, model and actress, 51 today. Jamie Kennedy is 54 today.
All right.
And let's see, anybody else? No, not really. If you're looking for something to celebrate today, though, today is Geek Pride Day.
So we had 2 DVDs when I was a kid, and I don't know how we got them. I think we found them in a parking lot. Somebody had left them on their car, and they fell on the ground, and we got them. And it was Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Revenge of the Nerds. 2 great movies, but Revenge of the Nerds, because we had a VCR back when VCRs first came out, and that's we watched it over and over and over again, and it was always funny. So when I think of geeks and nerds, I think of Revenge of the Nerds, the original.
Nerd.
Get those nerds.
And Booger
Presley.
Booger.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember him. Ogre. Yeah. You remember Ogre?
Ogre. Yeah, man, that was a great movie. That was a great movie. Let's see. It is also National Brown Bag It Day.
Yeah.
So brown bag that lunch today.
Yep. Brown bag. I don't know. I honestly, man, I don't think there was ever a day that the brown bag lunch was better than what they were serving at the school cafeteria. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for me. I don't want a sandwich. Give me the pizza. Give me the, they had the Mexican pizza boat. They had, I liked all of it. And then now I got a kid and he likes it too. He was pissed off that they didn't have the beef stromboli or something one day.
Wow.
It must have been amazing.
Must have. Yeah, we had the chicken nuggets. The mashed potatoes were really good.
Yeah. I like it.
Did y'all have the square pizzas?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had Pizza Boat, and then we had Mexican pizza.
What the hell is a pizza boat?
It was like the ones that were thick, kind of, but they were like rounded edges. They were like this.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't have those.
I didn't have those. I had those.
And then the Mexican pizza was like that taco cheese, but it was shaped like a stop sign. And it came with corn. You got that and corn and applesauce. Great combo.
That is a great combo now. Yeah, I do remember that. All right. Looking back at this day in history, you're a baseball guy. 1935, Babe Ruth hit his last 3 home runs.
So Babe Ruth was going to retire, and I think they were playing. Was he on the Pirates or he was playing the Pirates? But his last 3 home runs, he was going to retire, and he tried to quit, and they begged him not to quit. And so his last home runs all came in the same game. Like he just, his last gasp was like 3 bombs, and one of them was a monster shot.
Yeah.
That's how you become a legend, man. You just hit bombs. And the only reason he came back to play was because they were promising that he would eventually be like a manager, and no one would ever turn their team over to Babe Ruth because he, was hot dogs and beer. But good for him. Yeah.
And cigars. 1965, heavyweight boxer Muhammad Ali knocked out Sonny Liston 1 minute into the first round of their rematch for Ali's heavyweight title.
I love Muhammad Ali. I think I've
Yeah.
talked about it on here before. I had the Muhammad Ali poster. I like people that tell the truth as far as they see it. And he was one of those guys. And when it's unpopular, when you say, hey, I don't believe in this war and I don't have a problem with these people, sorry that the government does, but I don't, I love the fact that he was a great boxer and that he won all those fights. And it was kind of sad to see him, dealing with, but I think it was because of head trauma, but, just kind of being there, but, dealing with whatever he was dealing with at the end of his life, because he was just such a powerful, person in our, in our American history. So he ranks up there in my mind as, to me, and and you guys I love boxing too. You guys know, like I've had Deontay Wilder on my shows before. I revere him as a former heavyweight champ. I watch heavyweight boxing. My dad watched heavyweight boxing, kind of a thing that's passed on. But Muhammad Ali's like Mount Rushmore of heavyweight boxing. And I just love him. I love reading about him. He even put out an album, like where he sang, which is pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I did not know that.
I had it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Also, this day, summertime used to be known for big time movies making their premieres in theaters. And we just don't have that much anymore because theaters are almost becoming a thing of the past. But do you like a good X-rated movie?
I'm going to probably pass on answering that question.
Well, I'm just Midnight Cowboy, 1969, Oscar-winning flick. What did you think I was talking about? Dustin Hoffman, John Voight, and this Midnight Cowboy. It premiered with an X rating, the first major commercial film with this rating. I wasn't talking triple X, Mick. I was talking X.
I've heard of that movie before. I've never seen it, but maybe I should go watch it.
Have you heard of this movie? It debuted this day, 1977. There was this little sci-fi little film called Star Wars. It opened up in theaters this day, 77.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that, I love Star Wars. Like, I love the original Star Wars. I'm not as big of a fan as the Star Wars now that Disney took over. They've kind of ruined it in my mind. But the original Star Wars were awesome, man. Like, the stories that they told, and, like, I could sit there and watch them right now. If they came on television, the beginning of that first Star Wars, where they capture the ship and then they're like cutting through with Darth Vader and he's coming in to basically catch Princess Leia. Like, it's heart pounding, man. That's good stuff.
Never seen it. 1983, the movie Return of the Jedi. It opened up in 1983. But I've never watched Star Wars. I've never seen it.
Return of the Jedi, I went and watched it like at the movie theater, but you had to wait through lines. Like, you weren't seeing that, like the first, like when it premiered, for like weeks, unless you really wanted to stand in line, you weren't getting in there. I mean, it was crazy how many people were in line where I lived to go watch that. But when I got in there, it was a lot more cheesy than the first two. The Empire Strikes Back is still my favorite Star Wars movie of all of them. And I even enjoy the ones that are out now, even though I don't like them as much as the old ones. That I don't feel like the writing and all that stuff. I just feel like I'm being preached at. I just want to watch a good movie. And the whole principle to me of the first three, it almost kind of felt like the same thing that happened when Hitler took over in Germany and tried to take over the world. Like there's a parallel, there's a parallel there. Yeah. It's a space version of that. Yeah. The new ones, it's like, I always feel like they're like it's like they're the same movie, but yet we've already seen it, like, so they need to come up with some new concepts, basically.
Yeah. And the final thing in this state, and I hate to conjure up bad memories for you, Mick. This day in 2011, Oprah Winfrey aired her last show after 25 years.
So you guys heard me talk about Father Carl, right? Talk
yeah.
about him. He's like one of the big influences in my life, and he's a priest in Boca Raton. He used to be, before he was a priest, he used to work for WJZ TV in Baltimore, and he was there when they hired Oprah Winfrey to do the People Are Talking TV show.
No kidding.
Used to come on in Baltimore. Yeah, it used to come on in Baltimore in the really early morning. It was actually a pretty good show, and then it led Oprah into doing her, her thing.
Yeah, she went to Chicago.
Yeah, so I mean, there was I've known Oprah like pretty much my entire life, because I remember watching. I mean, not know her, but I remember watching her on TV. So, I guess she's got her own TV channel, but I honestly, I don't know that I've seen her really at all since she retired or whatever, since 2011. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Oprah. Now I've seen Gayle King some, like her friend pops up in different spots.
Oprah she did a special not too long ago, but that's the last I've heard of her, and that's a good thing. But I mean, Oprah, she had a great career, and it reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit. That's how I love to remember Oprah.
Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle. He's one of my favorites. All right, Brett, tell everybody about your show.
Monday through Friday, 6 till 10, but not this Monday. I'm off. 6 till 10, WJLX 1015 and WJLX1015.com, all the major streaming apps, and look forward to seeing you Tuesday morning on the radio.
Well, we've been compared to Laurel and Hardy, and I guess that is a compliment for us.
Better than Dumb and Dumber.
They call him Big Sexy, coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy, throwing out those Alabama thoughts, sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.